Maybe it would help if I took the mute off. All right, if you're watching this at home on the stream, please type into the chat if you can hear Will's guitar. What happened? Okay, we'll be getting started in just a couple minutes. Okay. We have some folks watching on the stream. Okay, I'm going to welcome everyone to a musical Havdalah in concert with Will Soll. The theme is Bob Dylan and the Yiddish poets, and it's specifically Purim themed this time. Correct. And this evening's program is sponsored in part through the Shamayim of Synagogue Vegan Challenge. So all the desserts over there are vegan, and we're going to have homemade desserts. But our baking event got snowed out on Thursday, so I want to thank Mark Oppenheim for picking up vegan desserts at the last minute. And we have the next event in our installment of the Synagogue Vegan Challenge series is going to be on Purim itself. Wednesday evening, March 16th, after the Megillah reading, we will have a meal here, Queen Esther's Feast. We're going to have vegan Indian food. We all know, everybody knows, Queen Esther ate vegan in the palace of Achashverosh. That's how she kept kosher. So we're going to have a vegan feast for food from Gokul, and that will also be sponsored by Shamayim. And please register so we know how much food to order on the website. And that'll be, again, March 16th, Mariv and Megillah reading at 7:30 p.m. followed by supper. And on that note, we're going to, if I can ask someone to dim the lights, we'll start things off with Havdalah.
הנה ישועתי, אפתח ולא אפתח, כי עוזי וזמרתיה, ויהי ישועה. ושבתם מים בששו, ממעייני הישועה. לאדוני הישועה, על עמך ויראת סלה. אדוני צבאות עמנו, נשכב לנו אלוהי יעקב. אדוני צבאות, אשר ידע בוטח. אדוני הושיע המלך, ועננו ביום קורנו, ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה, ששון ויקר, כן תהילה. For our ancestors there was life, and there was salvation. So may it be for us. Kosh Yeshuot Esa, Shem Adonai Ekra. I lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of God. Eloheinu melech haolam, minei besoni. Eloheinu melech haolam, habo meore oim. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, אמרתי בקודש לאמור למשה בן ישראל עממים בן יום השביעי וששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני אמר בקודש אבינו בקודש לכו, חטאינו נמחו, זרענו וכספנו, ירבנו כחול, וכוכבים בלילה. Shabbat Tov, everyone. And the custom is, there's a custom of having a meal at the conclusion of Shabbat. Following the conclusion of Shabbat, we just marked the end of Shabbat, the division between the sacred and the ordinary, between the Sabbath and the weekday, with blessings and song. And there's a custom of having what's called the Malava Malka, a meal to escort the queen, escort the Shabbos queen on her way with food and drink and song. And we have all three of those things. So help yourselves to food and drink. And Will Soll will help us out with the song. And with that, I'll turn it back to Can't you hear that rooster crow? Rabbit running down a country road, underneath the bridge where the water flows through. So happy just to see a smile underneath the sky of blue. It's new morning, it's new morning with you. Can't you hear that motor turning? Automobile coming into style, coming down the road for a country mile or two. So happy just to see you smile underneath the sky of blue. This new morning, on this new morning with you. The night passed away so quickly. It always does when you're with me. Can't you feel that sun is shining? Groundhog blazing by a country stream. This must be the day that all of my dreams come true. So happy just to be alive underneath the sky of blue. This new morning, on this new morning with you. On this new morning with you. Sister, steht schon und schon auch zu neu genommen. Liebste meine ganze Welt. Ich will warten auf dein liebste meine ganze Welt. Ich will warten auf dein The steps are long. The watermelons are ripe, filled with sweetness, like my heart is full of love. Dearest, come to me, I will wait for you. The cherries are dark like your eyes, their boughs bending down with the weight. Dearest, come, we've had enough. The
Garten seinen Zeit geht sie satt und sehr liebevoll. Wie mein Herz ist voll mit Liebe. Mit Süßigkeit gegossen. Wie mein Herz ist voll mit die karschen liebster Mai, seinen schwarz wie deine Augen angeschossen und die Zweige sich versprochen. Hey, geschossen und die Zweige sich versprochen. Zuvor liebster Mai. Und genug schon uns zu träumen, reif und zeitig ist mein Lieb. Dies ist zeitig meine Freude. Hey, reif und zeitig ist mein Lieb. Dies ist zeitig meine Freude. So for a number of years now, this idea of Bob Dylan and the Yiddish poets has been one of my favorite projects, and it's kind of grown to about 60 songs, which of course is a little bit much for a single concert. So so I started to look for some themes that I could divvy this up into, and the one that immediately suggested itself was Purim. It suggested itself for two reasons. One is that I've always thought of Dylan as kind of a master of masks. The other is, well, we've got such good stuff from the Yiddish poet Itzik Manger. I don't know how many of you have heard of Itzik Manger, Polish poet. In the 20s, he wrote this slim volume of Megillah Lieder. And it's remarkable stuff. It not only retells the Purim story, but it interweaves it with characters drawn from the details of Jewish life in Eastern Europe. Anachronisms abound. Mordecai sells kosher soap. Vashti wishes she'd married a nobleman from Vilna. Haman calls a newspaper editor when he wants to spread slander about the Jews. And the characters themselves even talk about Purim plays and their own characters in the Purim play. Manger further complicates this narrative by introducing a romantic subplot. So in his version, before Esther becomes queen, she had a lover, a tailor lad named Fastragosa, whom she jilted in order to marry Ahasuerus. And that's why I began the program with two love songs, in case you were wondering why a Purim-themed Bob Dylan and the Yiddish Poets program began with two love songs. That's Manger facetiously claims to have uncovered this through diligent research, this tailor lad and the radical union to which he belongs. And he juggles all this in such a way to make good on his promise in the opening poem that he'll deliver both laughter and tears. So I'll be singing 7 or 8 of these Megillah Lieder with the Dylan counterpart serving as a kind of Gemara to Manger's Mishnah. And like the Gemara, some of the associations will be clearer than others, but I trust that you'll think or feel your way into all of them. And so, without further ado, sei sie jeden Schauspiel, wir fangen an dem Purrenspiel. Quiet people, stop your din. Let the Purim play begin. A Purim play in rhyme, so great you'll love each line. Play for eyes and ears that makes you laugh through tears. Mir fangen an dem Purim Spiel. I die da da die die da die I da da die die da die you want to try it? Make way for the heroes of the Megillah. Ahasuerus, the drunken king, who drinks anything. Esther, young and green, and Vashti, crinoline. Mordecai the wise, the scoundrel Haman, damn his eyes, mir fangen an. Dem Purim Spiel. Behind this great illustrious pack stands Pastor Negosa in the back. He'll give his own narration of his yearning desperation. In short, there's plenty of stuff to cry over and laugh. Wir fangen an dem Purim-Spiel. How did Tzaddik Mordecai found favor? Is he that humpback Jew around the palace straying, who manages to overhear what other folks are saying? You mean to say that you don't know his name, you little fool? That's Mordecai the Tzaddik. Just read the Esther scroll. Found favor with our king who's always, whose shiny nose is always red, whose breath is always stinking. How found he favor with our king who's always drinking, whose shiny nose is always red, whose breath is always stinking. Like this, one night he hung around the gate and overheard Bigtan and Teresh cursing thus, Haben dem Melech in the The king's a tyrant, he's a boor, no drink will ever slake him. Let's put some poison in his cup, let the devil take him. The two conspirators were agreed and went away in hope. But Mordecai revealed their plot in good Megillah trope. The king was overcome with rage, vowed he'd have their hide. Two gallows were set up, the rebels dangled side by side. The king gave Mordecai exclusive rights to sell his wares. His almonds, ribbons, kosher soap, right by the palace stairs. The evenings hushed and still and blue like threads on a prayer shawl. If you listen, you can hear the Megillah hummed by the flies on the wall. Bob Dylan's going to help us get ready for the King's Banquet. Well, that big dumb blonde with her wheel in the gorge. Turtle, that friend of hers, with his checks all forged and his cheeks in a chunk with his cheese in the cash. They're all going to be there at that $1 million bash. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, it's that $1 million bash. Everybody from right down over there and back. Lighter they come, bigger they crack. Come on now, sweet cream, don't forget to flash. We're all gonna meet at that $1 million bash. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, it's that $1 million bash. Well, I took my counselor down to the barn. Till he was there, he told him the yarn. Then along came Jones, emptied the trash. Everybody went down to that $1 million bash. Ooh, baby, ooh, ooh, baby, ooh, it's that $1 million bash. Well, I'm hitting it too hard. My stones won't take. I get up in the morning, but it's too early to wake. First it's hello, goodbye, then push and then crash. But we're all gonna meet at that $1 million bash. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, it's that $1 million bash. Well, I looked at my watch, I looked at my wrist, I punched myself in the face with my fist. I took my potatoes down to be mashed, and I made it on over to that $1 million bag. Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, it's that $1 million bag. Says the king of the drunkard, while a tear falls from his eye. Queen Vashti is more lovely than Venus in the sky. A body white as snow, two braids down to her knees. One look into her eyes, make a good dog break his leash. Said Haman, smiling slyly, O king, so full of favor, then let the queen come hither. Naked as a jaybird, and all these lords, this highly placed elite, will gaze on her beauty while their jaws drop to their feet. Said the king of the drunkard, now that's a great idea. Go and bid Queen Vashti to show up naked here. The messengers run and they return anon. Queen Vashti's unavailable. Her migraines said Haman, smiling slyly. Don't fall for that old trick. A child could see right through it. I'm sure she isn't sick. Says the king of the drunkard, well, she'll come when I command her. Or else I'll have her shot to death, and afterwards I'll hang her. The messengers run, they come back out of breath, with chattering teeth and trembling limbs, because they are scared to death. Yeah, the queen has bars of door, they say, with 7 dancers deep. Sends this message to the king, I will not do his will. Der Nelly is a sheriff, und der Zuschauer, tut sich gleich blamieren. By honor, Leute, which means the king's a drunk. more than that out. If he wants to play the fool, why should I help him One lord says to another, time to head on home. The old lady will be grumbling, lying in bed alone. A third takes out his watch and holds it to the light. They put their stovepipe hats back on, file into the night. So, apart from the fact that she's no longer queen, the Book of Esther itself is silent about the fate of Queen Vashti. But many midrashim conclude that she was executed, and the Purim spiels, by and large, and Manger certainly in his version, follows that midrash. And the result, I think, is one of Manger's best tragicomic creations. It's even better if I'm in tune. Not that much better. Mein Tate ist gewesen, ein mächtiger Mann, was hat mir verlust, ein schicker Mann. Meine Tochter hat mich gewartet, mit der Tochter mit dem Messer vor der Mann, dem Klavier von Leder. My father was a nobleman, with standing and with clout, whatever made me go, and when a drunken loud. My father even warned me, Vashti, daughter, don't. Better you should marry that Lithuanian count. I didn't heed his warning. Now I wish I had. In just a little while, Queen Vashti will be dead. I didn't heed his warning, and now I pay the price. Here to my lament, mountains and you sky. I can't eat nuts and cherries, eat them for a snack. Now my well-lit rooms are fading into black. My bright and sunny rooms, with their ornamented backs, my fashionable wardrobe, and my designer hats. The king will take a young and lovely wife, of course, while worms will eat away at my young and lovely corpse. No, hangman, no, do not come so soon. Leave me with just one moment, leaving here alone. Give me one last moment, feel my last sunset for my young and lovely life. I feel so much regret. My young and lovely life, my youthful years, how fit. My rings were all of gold, gold was my hair. Back, hang the back, hold back the night a while. Give me just one moment to smile a final smile. Thus Queen Vashti weeps in her bitterness of heart. For young though she is, from this world she must depart. I've just reached a place where the willow don't bend. There's not much more to be said. It's the top of the end. I'm going, I'm going, I'm gone. I'm closing the book on the pages of the text, and I don't really care what happens next. I'm just going, I'm going, I'm gone. I've been hanging on threads, I've been playing with strings. Now I gotta cut loose before it gets late. So I'm going, I'm going, I'm gone. Grandma said, boy, go and follow your heart. You'll be fine at the end of the line. All that's going on doesn't shine through you when you want to love and apart. I've been walking the road. I've been living on the edge. And I just gotta go before I get to the ledge. So I'm going. I'm just going. I'm going. Meanwhile, Vashti's replacement is grooming herself. In Monger's Megillah poems, Esther emerges as a complex figure. For the sake of her people, she pays a grim price as the sexual toy of a drunken king. Meanwhile, suffering all the agonies of love, guilt above all, for having been so pliable. As Monger writes, it's what her uncle wants, you see, and Mordecai understands. And Esther always does everything that Mordecai commands. As she betrayed the tailor lad because it was Mordecai's will. Yet Foster Gosa, the tailor lad, was a treasure, a perfect Jew. Esther stands before the mirror, wearing pearls alone, and murmurs softly as she slides her velvet dress. Those jesting Purim players, they all say that I am ridiculous. I'm beautiful, whatever can they be. Esther steht beim Spiegelschlag in der blauen Sonnenfleck. Erblichen Teufel, sie murmelt stimmig. Die Letzten, die Pudding spielen, sie sorgt, dass ich bin. Tag, was Enkel weiß ich. Outside, a tired old walnut tree rustles in the air. Tell me where your uncle is. Miss Esther, tell me where. My uncle, Esther blushes, haunts the courtyard of the king, where matchmakers from all around and maids are gathering. And pretty soon, old walnut tree, I too will there be seen. Tell me, ancient walnut tree, am I really? Is there better, Esther she, of who can there reside? Ain't it just like the night to play tricks when you're trying to be so quiet? We sit here stranded, though we're all doing our best to deny it. And Louise holds a handful of rain, tempting you to defiance. Lights flicker in the opposite loft. In this room, the heat pipes just cough. The country music station plays soft. There's nothing, really nothing to turn on. Just Louise and her lovers so entwined. And these visions of Johanna that calm my mind. In the empty lot where the ladies play blind man's bluff with the keychain. The all-night girls, they whisper of escapades out on the D train. We can hear the night watchman flick his flashlight, ask himself if it's him or them that's really instead. Louise, she's all right. She's just near. She's delicate. It seems like a mirror. She makes it all too concise and too clear that Johanna's not here. The ghost of electricity howls in the bones of her face, where these visions of Johanna have now seen. Fiddler now speaks to the countess who's pretending to care for him, saying, name me someone that's not a parasite, and I'll go out and say a prayer for him. But like Louise always says, you can't look at much, can you, man? As she herself prepares for him. And Madonna, she still has not shown. We see this empty cage now corrode. The fiddler now steps to the road. He writes everything has been returned which was owed. On the back of the fish truck that loads while my conscience below. The harmonicas play, the skeleton keys in the rain, and these visions of Johanna are now all back. Meanwhile, Foster Gosa, literally and figuratively, is left out in the cold. Foster Gosa, der Schneider, dreht sich unter die Fenster. Gedenkst du, Esther, du hast mir gesagt, dass ich bin bei dir der Schönste. Wir haben gegen sich die Hände und abgeschmust, was gehört. Im Hirte Hashem, euch Schabes nach Schluss, das sein, die Chase sicher. Foster Gosa, the tailor lad, stands neath the palace window. Esther, you promised your heart to me. Why am I now in limbo? Do you remember that rainy night? Wind seemed to blow right through us. We stood at the door and made wedding plans for the Shabbos after Shavuos. Let's run away to Vienna, I said, and set up a chuppah there. I can see you now in a silken gown, or a coral brooch in your hair. You said, what about Uncle Mordecai? I fear this will upset him. Yes, I replied, he won't like it much. If he wants to feel, well. Now your uncle's persuaded you to seal the deal he struck. So you're in the palace, and I am on the curb like a gambler down on his luck. Didn't you tell me that I was your prince? Was I really just your jester? Didn't you tell me you loved me so? Speak, say something, Esther. Und ich zog die Wetter, ihr Gerät und du liegst in Palace dort. Und ich hab verspielt meine junge Jahr wie ein Kartoschnick in Karten. Denkst du, Esther, du hast gesagt, als ich bin bei dir der Schönste. Osche, hast du mich abgenannt, so viel im Loschen, Esther. I can't understand. She let go of my hand. and let me hear a face on the wall. I'd sure like to know why she did go, but I can't get close to her at all. Though we kissed through the wild, blazing nighttime, she said she would never forget. The morning appears, it's like I ain't here. She just acts like we never have met. It's all new to me, it's a mystery. It might even be like a me. It's hard to think on that she's the same one that just last night I was with. From darkest dreams are deserted. Am I still dreaming yet? I wish she'd unlock her voice once and talk instead of acting like we never have met. If I didn't have to guess, I'd gladly confess to anything I might have tried. If I was with her too long or had done something wrong, I wish you'd tell me what it is and confide. Though her skirt's straight as a guitar blade, her mouth was watery and wet, but now something has changed. She ain't the same, just acts like we never have been. I'm leaving today, I'll be on my way. Of this I can't say very much, but if you want me to, I could be just like you and pretend that we never have touched. And if anybody asks me, is it easy to forget? I'll say it's easily done. You just pick anyone and pretend that you never have met. So, Festragosa, poor Festragosa. His unrequited love drives him to desperation. He goes berserk, tries to assassinate the king with a penknife. Doesn't work. But this would have reminded Monger's audience of another event, the attempted assassination of the governor of Vilna by a shoemaker named Hirsch Leckert in retaliation for the governor's brutal flogging of a number of workers. Anyway, meanwhile, alive but shaken, with Haman whispering in his ear, insinuating that all of this proves Jewish disloyalty, King Ahasuerus mulls over recent events. He stands at the window in his royal underwear. He contemplates the summer night and all the stars out there. He takes a breath, how sweet it is to be alive, to shout, to guzzle wine and fornicate and wave my sword about. Just think what might have happened Just think what might have been if that crazy kid had killed me. What would have happened then? They came under 6 feet deep and there I would have lain where birdsong never reaches and the starlight's never seen. And when my Esther grieved for me, perhaps she'd mourn a year. Or maybe she would step right out and have a love affair. While Vashti greets me underground, it's you tub of sin. How is my canary? Who's playing my mandolin? Haman's right. Get rid of him. I'll make decrees today. Those kikes are gonna know this isn't just some Purim play. He fetches ink and paper and a quill from off the shelf and signs the fatal edict beneath the portrait of himself. Eyes ist am Feier, zu leben auf der Erde, zu trinken Wein, zu hören und kochen mit der Schwere. Sweet pretty things are in bed now, of course. The city fathers, they're trying to endorse the reincarnation of Paul Revere's horse, but the town has no need to be nervous. The ghost of Belstar, she hands down her wits to Jezebel the nun. She violently knits a bald wig for Jack the Ripper, who sits at the head of the Chamber of Commerce. Mama's in the factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for food. I'm in the kitchen with the tombstone. The king of the Philistines, his soldiers to save, puts jawbones on their tombstones and flatters their graves. Put the Pied Piper in prisons and sends the slaves and sends them out to the jungle. Gypsy Davy with a blowtorch, he burns down their camps with his faithful slave Pedro behind him he tramps. With a fantastic collection of stamps to win friends and influence his uncle. Mama's in the factory, she ain't got no shoes. Daddy's in the alley, he's looking for fuse. I'm in the kitchen with a tombstone. Well, John the Baptist, after torturing a thief, looks up at his hero, the commander-in-chief, saying, "Tell me, great hero, but please make it brief. Is there a hole for me to get sick in?" The commander-in-chief answers him while chasing a fly, saying, "Death to all those who would whimper and cry." And dropping a barbell, he points to the sky, saying, "The sun's not yellow, it's chicken." Mama's in the factory, she ain't got no shoes. Dad's been made an offer that he can't refuse. I'm in trouble with the tombstone. Well, in Munger's Megillah leader, Haman, of course, gets his just desserts. But he doesn't end it there. He goes about a year later, where Pastor Ghost's mother is lighting a yahrzeit candle for him and complaining bitterly about Esther the whore, who never even sent him a note while he was in prison. There's a wonderful Ruth Weiss, the very fine scholar. She says something very, very interesting about this whole thing, the way he ends it on this tragic note. And I had the page very nicely marked, of course. Here we come. This bittersweet ending, devoid of salvation, implies that the biblical fairy tale is almost an insult to East European Jews, who cannot, despite their best efforts, stave off their political enemies. Like a wealthy relative who comes around once a year to grace his impoverished family, the biblical story reminds the Jews of their weakness, even as it tries to offer them a moment of forgetful relief. So I tried to set this, it's a very good poem that he writes for Pastor Ghost's mother. I'm going to keep trying, but I wasn't successful. But there's another song that Munger wrote some years later, which looks back on the fate of the Eastern European Jews. Das Lied van de Goldene Pave, the song of the golden peacock. In Yiddish folklore, the golden peacock is this mythical bird that serves as an intermediary between worlds, between lovers. The Yiddish Book Center, in fact, has adopted a golden peacock as its symbol for many of its publications. It's, of course, a mythical bird, and this mythical bird in Manger's song is searching for die nächtige Tag, yesterday. So, a mythical bird on an impossible quest. What could possibly go wrong? As die goldene Pave geflogen habe, mein Israel suchen die nächtige Tag, Trili, Ala, Flitzi und Flicke, sie trefft die Berg, auf a weißer Skappe, ein alten Tag, Trili, Ala, Trili. Tut ihm die goldene Pave frei, sie hast du gesehen, die nächtige Tag, Trili, Trala, Trili. Verkehrt die Telke den Stern und klappt, die mächtige Tag nicht gesehen, nicht gehört, und hat sie die letztes und Jahr zum Fern. Uns klingt in die Welt, sein Ha-Ha-Ha-Ha. A goldene Vogel in Haaren sah. So the golden peacock has flown away, eastward looking for yesterday. There in the mountains where she sped, she found an old Turk on a horse with a sled. Golden peacock to him did say, chance have you seen yesterday? The Turk knit his brow and he then declared, yesterday, no, I've not seen it nor heard, and he tugged on the reins, his horse he spurred. and the hills did resound with his laughter bold. That's one foolish bird, even if she is gold. So the peacock has flown away, northward looking for yesterday. A fisherman stood by the sea this time, spreading his net and singing a rhyme. Golden peacock to him did say, by chance, have you seen yesterday? Tweely, tra-la, tweely. He furrowed his brow and he then declared, yesterday, no, I've not seen it nor heard. No, I haven't seen it, I haven't heard. Then he sang tra-la-la, like the folk songs of old. That's one foolish bird, even if she is gold. So the golden peacock has flown away, southward looking for yesterday. A hunter on the savannah she saw, there by his hut as he fixed it with straw. Golden peacock to him did say, by chance have you seen yesterday? Tweely, tra-la, tweely. He gave the bird his most charming smile, stared at the sky and he thought for a while. Then he only said, huh, the way he strolled. That's one foolish bird, even if she is gold. So the golden peacock has flown away, westward looking for yesterday. She found a woman with sorrow bent, who knelt by a grave and made her lament. Tweely, tra-la. Peacock knew without asking a thing that the woman in black whose tears did spring, there by the grave beside the way, she was the widow of yesterday. Tweely, tra-la. Buckets of rain, buckets of tears, all them buckets coming out of my ears. Buckets of moonbeams at night. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stay. I've been meek, hard like an oak, seen pretty people disappear like smoke. Friends will ride, friends will disappear. If you want me, honey, baby, I'll be here. I like your smile and your fingertips. I like the way that you move your hips. I like the way everything about you is bringing me this. Little red wagon, little red bike. I ain't no monkey, but I know what I like. I like the way you love this. I'm taking you with me, honey, baby. Life is sad, life is a bust. All you can do is do what you must. You do what you must do. I'll do it for you, honey, baby, can't you tell? Like it's a rain, like it's a tear. Got all them buckets coming out of my ears. Buckets of moonbeams. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. Thank you very much. Then some Bob Dylan songs, some Yiddish songs. So I thought I'd end with one. It's both. Die ganze Welt ist voll mit Sonne und wie Jahr ist jeder schon. Nur ich gedenk noch jedem Pony, was hat mir verschlossen. Mein Morgenson wird shining. So die Zeit nicht sein zu weit. Kommt der Tag schon, kommt der Tag schon. Ich will sein befreit. Sagt der Mensch darf haben Feuer. Wenn es wird eine ganze Welt fallen. Ich seh mein Abschein in der Heu. Weiter wird's fließen. Mein Morgenson wird scheinen. So die Zeit wird sein zu weit. Kommt der Tagschein, kommt der Tagschein. Ich will sein frei. Dort steht der Joachim in der Bande. Gallops der Reus, sage ich. Hat sich eingesetzt, noch grande, meine Schumme ist afraid. Ein Morgenson wird scheinen. So die Zeit wird sein zu weit. Der Tag schon, der Tag schon. Ich will sein. Kommt der Tag schon, kommt der Tag schon. Ich will sein befreit. Shannon Don, thank you very much for coming out. I very much appreciate being able to play for real people. As I said to someone recently, doing a concert on Zoom, solely on Zoom. I mean, I'm glad to be augmented by the streaming audience out there, but doing a concert just on Zoom is like making love to a tape recorder. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Thank you again.
Everyone, thank you all for coming out. Please help yourself. There's looks like plenty more dessert, plenty of beers, plenty of coffee. Feel free to hang out and schmooze a little bit. And again, we'll be back with the next installment of the Synagogue Vegan Challenge on March 16th. The evening of Purim, following the Megillah reading with a vegan feast to break the fast with. So continuing our Purim theme. And yeah, thank you all for coming, and Shavua Tov.